Right, so today we are making spaghetti and meatballs. I'm going to start off with the sauce. So get yourself a big saucepan, and I've got a carton of passata. Just going to chop that. In my kitchen. Chop the top off and pour your passata. Any brand will do, whichever you buy. I generally buy the plain, just normal Italian passata. Sometimes I buy the value, just very, very basic stuff. It is totally up to you what your preference is. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do taste the same. So put that to one side for a second. Got some fresh basil. I'm not going to use all of this. I'm going to use probably half a pack of fresh basil. Okay. Just chop that up. And I just wanted to say, hi Leela! I know you watch every day, your mummy told me. Okay, so chop your basil really finely, although this will cook down into your sauce. I do prefer fresh basil, but you can use dried if you like. If you're using dried, you probably need about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon at the very most. I've peeled 3 cloves of garlic, but I'm only going to use 2 for the sauce. The other one's going to go into the meatballs. This should serve around about 4 people. Once it's done. Depends on how big your appetites are, it might serve more. So chop your garlic up really finely. Be careful if you do that. Don't want you slicing your finger off and blaming me. I don't do blood. Okay. So pop that into your saucepan as well. Always make sure your hands are clean before you start cooking, and that your worktops are clean as well. My hands are now really sticky because of that garlic. Okay, the next thing to go in is my mushrooms. I never bother peeling my mushrooms, and my daughter will probably freak out about that. They're just straight from the packet, but the dirt cooks off and the heat kills any bacteria there are. So it's just a few mushrooms. Let's go in there as well. I'm using 2 onions because these are quite small, but if you've got the larger ones, then you can use just 1 onion. Top layer of skin to get the paperiness off of it. Okay, so put this into my food bin and wash my hands. going to chop these in half. I'm going to chop them quite finely. So you've got halves, you want to slice, so I can do this so you can see it, quite thinly crossways. You turn it, to make little squares, and my eyes are already stinging. So do this with all 4 halves. I know we've got loads of veggies going in here already. I'll put these in a saucepan. I'm also going to grate a carrot. This is something that I do quite often. I grate a carrot or a courgette into the sauce. And carrot, don't worry about peeling it, just grate it. I do that just because it gives those extra vegetables and nobody notices. Oh, my eyes! Sorry, stinging eyes already. And the onions. All the way down to the end. Just get all the carrot out from inside. It's only a small carrot. It's not huge and huge. I'm just going to pop that in there as well. Just a sec. Sorry, really interrupted by the child. Okay, so you've got all your vegetables in your sauce here. Now put that onto a small ring on the hob. So get a good stir in together. Right, next we're going to make our meatballs. So let me just get a bowl that I forgot. Okay, so get yourself a bowl. I've got beef mince. You can use, I use a mixture of beef and pork. But you can use your preference. My favourite for this is beef and pork mixed together. Okay, so that's small packs, that's 500 grams of mince. So I'll put that to one side for a second. Okay, then I'm going to crush another, this is my 3rd clove of garlic. So chop that nice and small. It's going to get smaller than that in a sec. And now I'm going to get a chilli. So chop the top off. It doesn't make it particularly spicy, but it does give it that little bit of kick. So I'm just going to chop it in half, and then in half again. Just slice it. This is going to be chopped quite small in a sec as well. Chopped. Just chop it again. You want these as small as you can get them. We've got teeniest, tiniest little flurry of snow. And and she's gone out to try and plane it. I don't think it's even settling. Right, just a sec. This is starting to bubble away. But we want this to cook nice and slow so that all the flavours cooking together. Right, so this is about as small as I'm going to get it. So I'm going to put that in with my meat. That's your garlic and your chilli. Okay. Oopsie daisy. Flicking it everywhere. Now I'm going to put in a couple of mushrooms. Now I'm going to slice these really, really thin. And you want them really tiny, as small as you can chop them. I'm so excited because I managed to sign up for an allotment today, which means I'll be able to start growing my own vegetables again, which I always used to do. And since we've moved, we've not had an allotment and I really, really miss it. And I hate having to buy vegetables from the supermarket. Excuse me. Okay. So chop these really, really small. And pop them in with your meat, garlic and chilli. I just realised I've popped the grater over here and I need it. Sit there a second. Remember we grated our carrot on that. Let's give this a bit of a stir. And I'm going to turn it right down to the lowest heat. Now on your grater, on the smallest side, don't worry, that's just carrot that I had a minute ago. I've got my Parmesan cheese. And we're going to grate a little bit, I can open it, Parmesan cheese in with for the meatballs. So you get your smallest side, and you just want a couple of teaspoons, should be enough. So put that in with that as well. Right. So now, you've got your meat and all your bits that you've just popped in, and I want to squidge it all together. If you don't like the feel of raw meat, then use a wooden spoon or a metal spoon if you want. But I always find it binds better when you do it with your hands. Don't forget this is just beef mince. You can use beef and pork if you want, or just pork. Right. So this looks like that. All of it mixed in together, squidged right in deep in between. I'm just gonna wash my hands for a second. So you get your oven dish. Just a normal oven dish. And we're gonna have a bit of wine. Because today has been pants. And it's Friday and I'm not on call. Okay, so we're gonna take a bit of the meat And we're going to make it into a ball. That's the word, meatballs. Okay. And just pop it on your tray. These can be as large or as small as you like. That bit is completely up to you. I usually make them around about the size of golf balls. Bear in mind that it's usually fair to say one portion would be 4 meatballs. You may have more if you like. But with the sauce and the spaghetti, and then if you're going to have garlic bread as well, I think 4 is fine. That's 8. Don't let any straggly bits get away. You don't want to waste any of this mixture. See, I've not used any breadcrumbs or any egg, and it is going to bind together perfectly even without those ingredients. Sometimes I do find that they are a bit excessive and you don't actually need them. It adds extra expense and extra calories and extra carbohydrates because of the bread. I just don't see that it's necessary. This has made exactly 16 meatballs. So at 4 meatballs each, that's enough for 4 people. Scooped a bit there. Okay, so pop these over on the side, wash my hands properly. Right, my oven is preheated to gas mark 6. So we'll pop these into the oven for around about 20 minutes. Set my timer for 20 minutes so I can tell you exactly how long it takes. Okay, all the while we're going to keep this cooking. Okay, so now I'm going to put a pot of water on, saucepan. Depends on how much spaghetti you want to cook. I have 3 people, so I've got 1.5 litres of water. I'm put on a large ring, and in a second I'm going to put a lid on it. I'm going to turn it up on maximum heat, and I'm going to leave that to boil, and I'll see you when that's boiled. Okay, so my water for my spaghetti is bubbling. So I'm going to pop in enough for the 3 of us. Again, it depends on how much you eat, but I always do a little bit extra because people always end up coming back for seconds. So you get your raw spaghetti, dried spaghetti, and just pop it in your boiling water. Be very, very careful. Just hold it in until it starts to bend. Don't put your hands in the water. Don't bang yourself, please. Just be very, very careful. Okay. You need your spoon or your spaghetti fork. Flick it everywhere. And just gently push it into the boiling water. Spaghetti takes approximately 12 minutes to cook. It all depends on how well done you like it. I like mine nice and soft. When we went on holiday to Rome a few years ago, they seemed to like it quite firm, but for me that tasted like it wasn't cooked properly. But each to their own, so it's how you prefer it. I would leave that for between 12 and 15 minutes. Just bubbling away, stirring it every so often so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. In the meantime, I grated a little bit of parmesan to sprinkle on top. So let everyone do that with their own. And I'll see you in about 12 minutes when the spaghetti's cooked. Okay, so let me see you. The spaghetti's still cooking away, but the timer for the meatballs is just about to go. So we're going to see if these are ready in a few seconds. Don't forget they've been in for 20 minutes on gas mark 6. Gas mark 6 is always my go-to. On my phone. Which is about 200 degrees if you're in an electric oven. Okay, so these look pretty good. They actually look done, which is fantastic. So I'm just going to turn off the oven while the spaghetti is cooking away. And don't forget, I've still got the sauce on the hob. So always use oven gloves because you will burn yourself. I'm just going to plop each of these meatballs into the sauce. The sauce is on the lowest setting on the smallest ring of the hob. Don't just pour these meatballs in because there's a lot of fat that's come out of the meat. Oopsie daisy. Quite hot, so I'm just going to rest that there. And I'm going to stir this very gently because you don't want to break up the meatballs into the sauce. And they covered and they soak up lots of this delicious sauce. I'm just going to have a taste to see if it needs any salt. No, that's perfect. Always add salt or pepper if you want to. Remember, it's to your taste if you're making it at home. Okay, spaghetti's still got some way to go yet. So I'm going to leave that cooking. And I'm going to leave this simmering on a low heat. And I'll see you again soon. Okay, so my spaghetti is now starting to look like it's soft enough, which is good. So that's how I like it. So I'm going to turn this off at the hob. Okay, colander, and drain it into the sink. Careful not to burn yourself on the steam or the splashing water. Good drain, sorry. Okay. Let's turn this off too. Okay. So I'll serve one up to show you what it looks like. With a fork. Okay. So remember, this was enough to serve approximately 4 people, depending on the appetites of the people, of course. Okay, so there's your spaghetti. And I always use a slotted spoon for this. Sometimes you can get a bit more sauce than what the person likes. With 4 meatballs. 4 meatballs roughly per serving. Oops. Let's get some sauce in it as well. There you go. Spaghetti and meatballs. Enjoy.